Hello, Darren.
Hi, Darren. Back on my iPad.
Had a good band rehearsal last night.
Did you? Is it all right?
I think I was telling you one point about how the idea for this band is for it to be a band a bit like one's first bands are.
Yeah.
Where you get the guy who's got the drum kit and you get the person who can play bass. And I mean, presumably you put a little thought into like similar interests, but really you form a band and then find out what you sound like.
Yeah.
As opposed to a lot of my bands now are, can you play like Hefner? Good, you're in. And so last night was a rehearsal where I deliberately tried to start a song not with me. You know, obviously the band is necessarily built around me and my ideas.
Yeah.
But I said, why doesn't somebody bring something in? And I wanted something linear. There was like a rehearsal a couple of months ago where we were trying to, one of us couldn't figure out a part or something to one part of the song. Yeah. So the solution was, well, let's just play this bit over and over again, these three chords, whilst they work it out.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but this endless repetition has, of course, its own quality.
Yeah, it becomes its own thing.
Yeah, I quite like repetition in the music I listen to. You know, I quite like listening to Noi and krautrock, and I like Suicide and things that I like. I find quite a comfort in endlessly repeating music.
Yeah.
But I don't really have the confidence to make it very often. In fact, hardly at all, actually. I think you could find very few examples in my back catalogue of repeating music.
Yeah, I can do a bit of that.
So it's good. Kind of making an album with just two guitars, drums and bass. I'm often given to thinking of my favourite album with two guitars, drums and bass, which might well be the Velvet Underground's third album.
Right.
Which I think is their best one. The sweet spot between the experimentation and the pop. Try to remind me, are you not a Velvet Underground fan, I think?
It's not that I'm not a fan, I don't know their work.
Right. Well, in that sense, I guess I'm sort of finding equivalency. Not that songs sound like songs on that, but I'm sort of thinking this album needs its Pale Blue Eyes. And then Giles came up with a spirally bass line, and I felt that we'd found our Some Kind of Love.
Right.
To anyone listening who does know the album. And it's good. It just sort of a little bass riff and a little C and G guitar movement. And I felt like, I could write tons of lyrics to this. I could just talk and talk. We'll see.
Does the lyrics come first or second for you, or is it just dependent on the song? It's always dependent on the each individual song for me.
With this particular project, I would say that on occasion, lyrics have been really, really quite hard, actually.
Right.
I've had some nice catchy tunes, And I've been sort of halting the band and saying, hold on, and then getting the notebook out and sort of asking for their forgiveness a little bit with that.
Yeah.
Because as I said earlier, I'm sort of trying to write for the band. And then sometimes, the way someone's playing makes me phrase the word differently. And maybe I can say that. So the lyrics this time, I guess would say they came at the same point, at some initial point of writing. But after then, they're constantly being revised and edited. So I guess I'm feeling on this record that the lyrics might well turn out to be the last thing to be finalized.
Right.
I think quite often what I start with is a title.
Right, yeah.
I think sometimes I think of a title and I just sort of imagine that title on a record sleeve.
Yeah,
And I sort of think, would I be interested? Would I want to skip to that? Would I want to skip to that song first?
Yeah.
I'll give one away. I haven't quite finished writing it. I had the idea of a song called I Was an Accident. And the idea of the song is that it's kind of a love song. Do you know that Jonathan Richman song? If you didn't want me, you shouldn't have been born. You never should have come and seen my band play. You should have never seen my band play because you're the one for me. It's kind of a funny song. It's like blaming her for him being in love, saying this is all your fault. You had that face and walked into the bar that night. How on earth can this mess be my fault? Which sounds more predatory and male than the song actually ends up being. The song ends up being much sweeter. Right. And so I have this title for a song called I Was an Accident, which is maybe the same sort of thing. The idea that I think, like at one point I say, I'm a loose stone that you tripped on, And the idea is it's a sweet song, like I shouldn't be blessed with such an angel. Yeah. But the only reason I'm blessed with such an angel is I was an accident. I wasn't supposed to happen. So I don't know whether that's going to be a good song or not, but I think of that title before I have any chords or anything. And it just seems like a reason for that song to exist.
Yeah. Concentrating here.
I'm continuing the theme of food.
Sorry?
I'm continuing the theme of food from the last.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Are you going to tell me what you're painting or should I guess?
No, you'll never guess. I'm painting or drawing the record producer, Charles Stepney, who worked with Ramsey Lewis and Earth, Wind and Fire. And then I'm going to, next to his face, I'm going to put a packet of McDonald's fries because we're talking about food. And I'm just in one of those kind of like random juxtaposition moods today. So it's less about Charles Stepney and more about a man thinking of fries. And it just happens that I wanted to draw Charles Stepney. I had a sketch already. There's a sketch here that I doodled the other day. So I just thought I'm going to do another version of that.
What do we
It's
think?
very sketchbooky in a way. You're just sort of letting your mind just like drift and draw whatever comes into your head.
This is something that we haven't talked about here before, but we talked elsewhere about, is that I don't have a sketchbook or don't use a sketchbook. Well, I mean, these little things are in little pads, I suppose. I did do one sketchbook. Actually, it was last year. I did one. I don't know if you remember. It was like in Barcelona. It was
the drinks.
Oh, there's the drinks one. Yeah. Have I shown that here before? I'm trying to think if it's around.
You've shared the cover elsewhere.
This is my lyric note.
That's really nice.
Yeah. But herein, see, still is an example of my problem in that that's a nice sort of sketchy diary type idea, but it's very typical of me to make it its own thing. So in the end, the whole cover becomes a piece.
Yeah.
And I think there's something about, how can I word this? It's like, I think if I had a sketchbook, would I accidentally do my best work in it? And then does it not count because it's in the sketchbook? And there's something about putting the frame around something, the potential for any idea to be the best idea.
Yeah.
I think that in music, I think when I'm recording and in the few occasions when I've taught songwriting and music to kids, I've talked about this, never. It's like the culture of demos or pre-production. Why would you record anything assuming it wasn't good enough to be used?
Yeah.
Like, what on earth is the point in doing a demo if you've decided before you even start that it is inferior goods?
Yeah.
So what's even the point? I don't understand what's the point. Like what on earth is a demo? Like, even if you're doing it on a 4-track, or even if you're doing it in any situation, surely part of your brain should at least consider the possibility that you might accidentally do the best thing of your life.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. And I think a lot of my best work is in my sketchbooks and not available to sell because it's in a sketchbook. And I do regularly get people asking if they can buy something, and the answer's got to be no, because I can't rip it out of the sketchbook. It's just not possible.
Why can't you?
Because often the way it is, it's over 2 separate leaves, and the minute I tear them out, there'll be 2 separate pieces of paper. I'd have to put them together to make one whole, but also there's stuff on the other side, which is also important to me. And so someone messaged me once, actually, on Instagram a while back, asking about my art, and they were like an outsider art account, and they were saying, I really want to buy one of your paintings. And it kind of felt a little bit shady, actually. I didn't totally get a good feeling about it when they messaged me. But I said, so I was still though quite amenable to selling a painting. And then they said, I don't suppose you'd sell me one of your sketchbooks, would you? And I was like, no. It'd be like selling a child. I just, I couldn't do it. They're so important to me. I don't know why they are, but they are. It's something that I need to keep. But what I'm going to do, so I talk about not being able to sell this stuff that's in a sketchbook. I'm going to put a little like zine together of the current one I'm working in and sell that. So every page of the zine will be a page or maybe 2 pages from the sketchbook. So you can kind of buy my sketchbook in a printed form.
I'm not sure if there's anything I wouldn't sell. And I think that's possibly a little bit sad. Like, I think there's something wrong in me that I think that.
I don't think there is.
I think it's a bit like the idea that you're saying that there's, some art that you've made that you just couldn't part with.
Yeah.
That's really nice. I think that's a really nice sentiment, that some of the things you've done mean that much to you. I'm a bit jealous that you think that about some of your work, if it's in a sketchbook, and what a sketchbook means to you. And we talked about this before in Drawing Club. So as a sort of brief recap, me and you have known each other a few years, but me and you definitely got to know each other a lot better during lockdown, when we joined a loose group of people online that we refer to as Drawing Club. And from that, we decided we were the best two and we should have a YouTube channel.
That's right.
But I have talked before in Drawing Club about the fact that I feel like I am the least artist-like, or the least proper artist, because of things like, I can hear you about to be very nice. Let me admonish myself a bit further. And the reason for that is I think that I only find a worth in my work whether someone else wants it and someone else wants to pay money for it.
Okay.
And I think that's a little bit of a problem I have, in that I'm not sure of the value in it for myself. And I don't want to keep this stuff. And also, I will shut up soon. And also, another thing which came up just now off camera is I'm a very bad archivist of my art.
Yeah.
I don't really scan it or catalogue it, and I just sell it and send it out to people. So there's no real archive in existence of my artwork, really.
It's true. Yeah.
Because once again, I only see drawing. I see drawing as something I do for myself. I see the value in doing it for its own sake for myself. And yet, every time I draw, the reason why I don't do it in a sketch pad, and the reason why everything's for sale, is that's the only way I can believe it's worth anything, is if somebody actually gives me money for it.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't agree. The money is very validating. I'll tell you what. How confident are you about your artistic skills then? Would you say you're confident?
I sort of feel like I want to qualify the question a little more. Are you saying do I think I'm good?
I'm not sure of myself, actually. The reason I ask that is that it's kind of like by saying that the only way your artistic skill is validated is if someone buys something. But I've been like looking at job applications and stuff, and I feel in terms of my employment prospects, I feel extremely low in confidence. It's a very sort of low self-worth when I'm doing that. Sympathy in the comments, please, folks. But it's in complete contrast to my artistic abilities and my musical abilities, I suppose, as a whole in my creative life, where I've got total confidence and I don't need anyone to tell me that I'm good at it. It's just I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I do. And it's without me saying I'm brilliant, because I don't think I'm a brilliant artist in many fields of what I do, but I'm just totally confident that I can do it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
I do. I understand.
I don't need someone to give me money to say I've done a good job.
I don't think I am quite the same. No.
Right.
I don't. I think in some aspects I have tons of confidence.
Yeah.
I think there's some parts of recording and putting music together where I think I'm really, really good. I think I'm really fast at making decisions, and I think I'm really good at. I'm really good at, in a room of musicians, giving them direction, and I like to think of myself as a very good facilitator. I think I'm quite good at making the drummer be really good in a recording studio. I'm quite good at ego management and arranging of songs. I think in some areas of there inside making songs, I think I'm really, really good. I think I'm really, really good at a certain kind of lyric writing, a certain kind of thing I do. You know, it's a bit of a cliche, but yeah, I'm the world's best at doing Darren Hayman songs. But
yeah.
No, I don't have that last thing you said. I don't know if I do have that. I don't know if I do have that feeling of I don't need anyone else to tell me or validate. I think I do.
Right.
I think I don't. I think in the moment of creation, I don't. I think when I'm here drawing and when I'm writing the song, I think I'm bulletproof. I'm having a whale of a time, and there I understood you, and I'm extremely confident in my decision making when putting a song together or putting a drawing together. You know, we've just watched me draw in pen. I didn't pencil out. I know I do sometimes pencil out. The same as you. We're quite bold and decisive, and I think that's what a lot of this is about, and what music is about. It's about making bold decisions and sticking to them.
Yeah.
So I think I've got all that. But I think afterwards, like what it is, where it exists, what's its place in the world. There used to be that journalistic cliche when I was growing up of like, well, we just do what we do, and if anyone else likes it, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
I don't think that's me at all. I don't think it's I do what I do, and if anyone else likes it at all, it's a bonus. I think I desperately, desperately want people to like what I do, and I think I do have doubts about work when it's ignored. And
do you think this is also because you make a living from it? And if people didn't like what you did, you wouldn't be making any money.
I think it is, yeah. I think it's interesting in Drawing Club, Sarah is our most successful artist, isn't she?
Yeah.
But I would say in terms of just selling commissions and pieces of work, I probably sell the most.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that...
Well, weirdly, it'll be you then me, wouldn't it? Yeah, Sarah's the one we kind of look up to.
Yeah. But I think... I think you're right. I think it has something to do with that. I think it has something to do with the fact it's my living. And so there's a lack of things in my... So whereas drawing and music is, of course, the best thing one... But, I'm of the opinion it's the best thing anyone can do with their lives. I agree. Anyone spends time on this planet and doesn't draw or make music will always be confusing to me. Yeah. But even though they're the best things in the world, and I'm really grateful and aware of my privilege, they are actually my jobs as well. So I think you're right. Somewhere in there lies the little bit of conflict. Yeah. Which going back to where we started, means I don't have a sketchbook.
Of course.
I don't have a sketchbook, but I also don't have this thing. I have a piece of artwork that I wouldn't possibly sell. Yeah. I do have some pieces that I am very, very fond of and haven't stuck up for sale yet. I'll even show you some, actually. But I still think I'm just keeping them for the time being. And that's as close as I get to it. Yeah. Just finding a couple of paintings. Yeah, there's a few paintings here that are really dear to me. I did these in India. This is a train, goes up to Darjeeling. This is a little monastery in the mountains.
Wow. When did you do that? When was this?
I did it sitting there amongst, the mountains above Darjeeling.
When were you in India?
About 3 years ago.
Right.
And this is a tea plantation.
Nice.
And there was actually I think there's another one of these that I did sell because I put them on Twitter. And I didn't put up a sale, and one person said, "Oh, I've been to that place. I'd really like the painting," and I relented straight away. So, having said I wouldn't sell them, I immediately did as soon as someone asked. Yeah, but they're free. Here's another one. That's another one of you. Yeah. But for some reason, I don't put these for sale. So that's the closest I get. But at the same time, as you can see, they're not on the wall, they're just in this box. No.
So did you have a sketchbook when you were studying arts? You must have done then, mustn't you?
Yeah, I did.
So because they always encourage it, don't they?
Yeah, they do encourage it. I think the only way I can explain it is just what I was saying before. My philosophy that every time you do a creative act, it should have the potential to be as good as anything else. So, for instance, I reckon it's possible, like maybe we could end this conversation with me saying, right, damn it, Darren, I will have a sketchbook. Yeah. I'm going to start a sketchbook tomorrow. But I bet I wouldn't draw on the opposite side of the page. You said you can't tear them out. I bet that's one thing I couldn't bear to do. So that even in my sketchbook, if somebody said, "Hey, you couldn't tear that page out and sell it to us," I'd go, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah. Which isn't uncommon. A lot of artists will leave the other side blank.
But I do acknowledge there is a sort of breadhead element to this as well. That I do, and this is what I mean when I mean like I think it makes me a bit less pure of artistic spirit, because I don't know. I think it's just a bit working class. Actually, I think when you're working class, you just sort of worry about where money's coming from, and there's something about that never quite leave you. And even though, relatively speaking, I'm okay, I think there's that as well. You know, I'm still self-employed, and I have my money through making songs and doing this stupid shit. So that's another reason.
I mean, I kind of suspect that this year has been a year where I've turned away from selling stuff and tried to do my own thing. I feel like at the moment I'm edging more back towards sales thing, but because of my work frustration and that. But it's very easy to be a dreamer and think, oh, I can make a living from art, no problem. And it's a lot more difficult.
I mean, I found that
you started off, you're already there.
Well, I found that everything slowed up.
Yeah.
Anyway, the cost of living and everything else is taking hold.
Yeah.
Which is in contrast to a little upturn at the beginning of lockdown.
Right. Yeah. We mentioned that recently, I think, when we were chatting. I think both our sales kind of improved during
people
lockdown.
At home, people wanted to make their houses look nice.
Yeah.
But now, you know,
they came to the wrong people.
Well, but I also think now I can understand with the way things are. A painting seems like a frivolous thing. And I think my reaction to that is I think I'm going to try and do more smaller, fun things. I'm going to try and do, you know, pictures that maybe make people smile, but maybe, you know, cost a lot less.
Yeah. Your drawing's looking really good.
Oh, this is a really rare occasion in that I think I've pretty much finished, and I've, for once, properly beaten you across the finish line. That's okay. Take your time. I'm enjoying it.
This, I think the digital thing is kind of quick, but it encourages me to do things that are a little bit more complex, because it's quite easy not going to worry about making mistakes and much. And I don't do much correcting. I still try to keep it loose, but it's certainly...
Do you do some, though? Like, for instance, in that painting there, have you pressed the undo button?
Yes, I have, yeah. There's been things that I've changed. It's good for messing about, though.
What is your favourite item on the McDonald's menu? What are your top 3 items on the McDonald's menu?
Top 3, Big Mac.
Big Mac number 1.
Yep. Well, these aren't in any order.
Okay.
It'll change. Your basic cheeseburger.
Just a single cheeseburger.
Single cheeseburger. And then, this sounds like a cop-out, but it's going to be like fries.
I don't like McDonald's fries.
Yeah, but I've got our fries with the burger, so
I'm starting to think you don't.
Okay.
I've started going into McDonald's and just going, Nah, I'm all right. I don't need any fries. I just need. We all know what the main show is. I'll miss the support if it's all right. Ian Button.
So have you got a top three?
Ian Button, the lead singer of Hayman at Cambridge, the band in which I drum, goes one further than you in his McDonald's minimalism.
Right.
And he orders the plain hamburger.
Yeah, yeah.
A tiny little acorn at the bottom of the McDonald's tree.
Have you got a top three?
Don't know if I've got a top three, but I've got a top one. And it kind of cleverly straddles both the greedy and the minimalist in a way. What I like is the triple cheeseburger.
Triple?
The triple cheeseburger. So it's just still the same little bun, and the same little pate, and the same little bit of cheese. Free. And it's still that tiny.
Wow.
I definitely want to make sure that at this point that we know that McDonald's are evil. I've always been evil. That it's really bad for you. That I'm a terrible human being. And I, at one point, didn't go into McDonald's for about 12 years.
Right.
But we are human, aren't we? And
we are.
And I broke. It's quite a test, isn't it? Finishing first.
Quite a test.
I think so. Yeah. I keep looking at this. I've put my signature on now to try and stop.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you've done it before, where you're like, well, I would be finished, but Darren's still.
Well, I have finished now. You can. I've finished dicking around. Looks kind of blown out on the screen, but that's the way it is. This bit here is quite a lovely creamy colour. It's not white.
Yeah, I guess the light behind the. This is what I quite like about this video about food is, I don't know if you can tell, but I've now eaten what I was drawing.
You're eating. I've not had any dinner, as we say in the north, any lunch.
Well, I will let you get to it.
Starving now.
As I said earlier, I'm going to stuff this bad boy with cream and with cheese and bacon, and cook it for Mr. Jack Hayter, once of the famous indie band Hefner. Right then.
Well, this former drifter needs some food.
Goodbye, Darren.
Bye, Darren.